Changing all these shiurim. We're going to be learning Arvei Psachim in the next weeks in Mirz Hashem. But first, an overview of Masechet Psachim. Masechet Psachim has four parts, depending how you count it. The first part deals with Hilchos Chametz, the first three prakim. And really, the whole Masechet goes according to a timeline, based on the flow of time, kind of like the Gemara in Brachos Daf Beis Amud Aleph regarding Kriya Shema, and why night is mentioned before day. We start with the first perek, with the mitzvot that apply to the night before Pesach. Leil Yudalev B'dikas Chametz. The second perek, we talk about the dinim of Erev Pesach, before Chatzos, where the Yisurei Achila and Hanoah begin before Chatzos. We continue talking about Erev Pesach in the fourth perek, which is more or less the second part, which deals with the minhag not to do malacha on Erev Pesach. All this is about Erev Pesach before Chatzos. The fifth perek, which is the second/third part of the Masechta, depending how you count the fourth perek. The fifth perek begins discussing Korban Pesach. Korban Pesach, of course, we are and will be Mitzvah Makriv Korban Pesach after Chatzos on the 14th. Perek Hey Vav Zayin Chet, those four parakim deal with Pesach Rishon on Yud Daled Nisan after Chatzos. Many of the Rishonim talked about the Masechta being divided into Pesach Rishon and Pesach Sheni. Meaning the first part is Chametz, and the second part deals with the Korban Pesach. The ninth perek deals with Pesach Sheni. And then we bring a month later if a person missed Pesach Rishon. So that even within Korban Pesach, it's organized on a timeline. The 10th perek deals with Leil Seder. Right, Leil Seder. So really the truth is, the bulk of the Masechta is a 24-hour period. That starts the night before Pesach and ends with the first night of Pesach. Because after the first night of Pesach, we don't have any new halachot. And that's why the Masechet is built this way on this timeline. Any questions about the structure of the Masechet? Okay, let's speak a little bit now about Perek Arvei Psachim. So first of all, as mentioned, the Perek deals with the Seder night. There are three mitzvot d'oraisa on the Seder night. One, we don't have today, Korban Pesach. That's the first. Matzah. Now the truth is, Mara is also mid'oraisa, but we paskin not as manazeh. Right? Matzah, Mara, the things we eat in addition to the Pesach. And then Sipur Yetzias Mitzrayim. And obviously a key question we spoke about earlier in the Rambam Shir is the relationship between these mitzvot. Now, Mid'Rabbanan, we have added mitzvahs. So first of all, we have the mitzvahs that are no longer d'oraisa that the Rabbanan added, like Maror. And then we have things that Rabbanan added to expand the concepts of the Seder. For example, Heseba and the Talakosos. And then beyond the mitzvahs d'Rabbanan, we have many minhagim. Some people call them mitzvos, like karpas and other things that we do on the Seder night, and all that is included in Arvei Psachim. The structure and flow of Arvei Psachim, not surprisingly, based upon what we've seen in the Masechta as a whole, is according to the timeline of the evening. We start in Naftali Tedem at Bet with Erev Pesach leading into the Seder, Erev Pesach Samach Lemincha. The next Mishnah is on Daf Kuf Yud Aleph. If we take a look for a second, just to get a sense of the flow. Kuf Yud Aleph. Mazgulo Kos Rishon. The Seder begins with Kadesh, with Kiddush. And then the second Mishnah, Kuf Yud Aleph, a view the fun of Mitabo B'Chazeres, Mat B'Chazeres, right? We have Karpas. It goes according to the flow of the Seder night. If you take a look at Kuf Tes Zayin Amud Aleph, which is the fourth Mishnah, Mazgulo Kos Sheni. You have Kos Rishon, the Tibul, and then Kos Sheni, etc. There are obviously, like in every other perek in Shas, other dinim that come up toch kedei that are connected to the things we're discussing. Most notably, for example, we discuss Kiddush. So we talk about Dinei Kiddush. This is the central place where Dinei Kiddush are discussed because of the Kiddush of Leil Seder. Shinui Makom. Shinui Makom, the whole sugya about when a person's eating and they change their place and what the halachot are that connect to that. One more interesting thing about Arvei Psachim before we begin. Arvei Psachim is the only perek in Shas where we have the Pirush of Rashi and the Pirush of the Rashbam throughout the whole perek. Now, it's not because the Rashbam only wrote his Pirush on this perek and on Baba Basra. It seems he wrote Pirush on many other programs, maybe all of Shas. We don't have all of his Pirush. We have the Rashbam quoted in many places. It seems the reason we have the Rashbam printed here is because Rashi's Pirush here is exceptionally short, shorter than it usually is. And so the Rashbam's Pirush helps expand, to use a word that's appropriate for the Rashbam, the Pirush on this perek. Any questions before we begin the perek? I think our goal is we're going to learn two dapim a day in Mirz Hashem. This will introduce you to the themes in the two dapim. And then I suggest spend the morning going through Gemara, Rashi, Tosos, maybe Ari Levine will give some Makoros also, etc. beyond. and people can each day really learn the dapim well. And Mirz Hashem, Daniel Liebson is going to make a siyum on the Arvei Psachim at the end of the process, and maybe a few other people will join him. It'll be a very nice thing, no? Okay, so let's begin. Erev Psachim Samach Lemincha Lo Yochal Adam Ad Shetechshach. On Erev Pesach, whether it refers to the day each year, right? Because it's Erev, or it should be Arvei. Tos discussed the Girsa Samach Lemincha. This refers to Mincha Ktana, right? The later part of the day. Lo Yochal Adam Ad Shetechshach. A person shouldn't eat until it gets dark. There's a broader concept that the Gemara will discuss. Not eating on Erev Shabbos and Erev Pesach. This is the source. Afilu ani should be Israel. Lo yochal ad sheyasef. Even an ani. On the one hand, he's hungry. On the other hand, maybe you think he doesn't need to do a seba because he's an ani, right? He doesn't really feel it as much or have the capability of doing it as much. Even he needs to do a seba. And here we have the mention of a seba. V'lo yifchetu lo me'arba kosos shel yayin. Even the ani, we have to make sure he has 4 kossos of yayin. The Rambam discusses, you have to go to a far extreme, sell what you have, your possessions. Because the mitzvah of Persum Nisi, even though it's only midrabanan, it's very important to accentuate it. Even from the public funds that we usually use only for people who are desperate, we use them for the dalakos. We see how important it is. So this Mishnah begins by mentioning the 2 dini derabanan that the Rabbanan added to accentuate the sense of cheres on the Seder night, heseba and dalakos, and we see how important they are. The Gemara begins by discussing this din of lo yochal samach lamincha. Mai irya Arvei Psachim. What's unique about Arvei Psachim? Afilo Arvei Shabbos v'yamim tovim nami. Even on a regular Erev Shabbos Erev Yom, you're not supposed to eat. The Tanya lo yochal adam be'Arvei Shabbos v'yamim tovim min amincha lamala kedei she'yikanes l'Shabbos kishu tava. So a person should enter Shabbos hungry, and this is something we try to be makbid on, not to eat close to Shabbos. Some people have all kinds of customs, fasting Erev Shabbos, etc., based on this halacha. Divrei Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yossi Omer, Ochav Halach Ad Shetechshach. So according to Rabbi Yossi, you eat until it gets dark. But according to Rabbi Yehuda, even on a regular Erev Shabbos Erev Yom, you're not supposed to eat. So we have 2 answers by the Amoraim how to reconcile our Mishnah with this general halach. The first is Rav Huna, the second is Rav Papa. Let's start with Rav Huna. Lo tzricha. The Mishnah is needed le Rabbi Yossi. According to Rabbi Yossi, the Amar Ochav Halach Ad Shetechshach, Hani Midi B'Arvei Shabbos V'Yamim Tovim, Aval Be'erev HaPesach Sheb'chiv V'Dematzah Moda. So Rav Huna's teretz says the whole Mishnah here is according to Rabbi Yossi. On a regular Erev Shabbos, Erev Pesach, he disagrees with Rav Yehuda, and he says you don't need to fast. On Erev Pesach, even he agrees. What's different about Erev Pesach? Because we have chiyuv the matzah, chiyuv the rice. The only time we have a chiyuv the rice is to eat a particular food. Because Malazeh, you have Pesach and Mara in the old days, right? That's a very big thing. We want to make sure that a person is going to be hungry for it, going to be eager for it. Okay, Rav Papa Amar, Rabbi Yehuda. Rav Papa prefers that we should say the Mishnah is even according to Rabbi Yehuda. Rav Papa in general was someone who sought to lamer l'tarvayu, right, and many things to say both deos. We saw recently Bab Kamadaf Yud, l'divrei Hakol, right? So Rav Papa here too, he says we can say even according to Yehuda. Hasan b'Arvei Shabbos v'Yamim Tovim min amincha l'mala hudasi. On regular Yom Shabbos Yom Tov, it's only min amincha l'mala. Samach l'mincha shari. Aval be'erev Pesach, afilu samach l'mincha nami aser. Rav Papa holds that the chiddush of our Mishnah is how early you have to start not eating. And that is a chiddush even according to Rabbi Yehuda. The Gemara is now going to discuss this shita of Rav Papa and reject it and go back to Rav Huna, but let's see that now. The Gemara asks you there, Erev Shabbos Samach Lamincha Shari, is it true that it's mutter to eat Erev Samach Lamincha and Erev Shabbos? Is that true? V'hatanya lo yochal adam be'erev Shabbos v'yom tov mitesha shos u'lamala. Mincha Ktana is the 9.5 hour, 3:30 on a day that's 6 to 6. And here we see it says from the 9th hour, which is Samach Lamincha. So we see a Meferish that Rabbi Yehuda held the Yisur begin to Samach Lamincha, and not just Mincha. So Rav Papa's answer doesn't seem to make sense. How do you know this brisa is correct? Maybe the brisa is a messed up brisa. Things not in the Mishnah, we didn't have Rebbe's oversight, so we don't know if it's necessarily correct. I went to the Shir of Pinchas Bered Rav. They come Tana v'Tani Kameh, and the Tana, whose job it was to repeat the Mishnayos and the Braisos, because they didn't have a sefer. The Tana's job was a living shas, right? He would know the Mishnayos and Braisos by heart. He would say it in front of the Amor, and then the Amor would be mefarish it. He got up, the Tani Kameh, and he said this Braiso. The Kif Lemine, and Rav Pinchas Bered Rav was mekabel this Braiso. So we see it's correct. So if that's so, then it's a real Braiso. Then we have a kasha. Must be Rav Huna said that the Mishnah is according to Rabbi Yossi. According to Rabbi Yehuda, that even on Erev Shabbos and Erev Yom Tov, it's also even Samach Lamincha. There's no Chiddush in Erev Pesach. Chiddush here is according to Rabbi Yossi. Machvar take the Rav Huna. The Gemara now gets into Rav Huna's shita with the problem. Does it work according to Rav Huna? Rabbi Yochanan, Vitam, Rabbi Yavo, Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Chanina, Halacha Rabbi Yehuda be'erev Pesach, v'Halacha Rabbi Yossi be'erev Shabbos. Halacha Rabbi Yehuda be'erev Pesach, Mechlal de Polig Rabbi Yossi b'Tarvayu. The fact that we had the Paskin here, Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Chanina, like Rabbi Yehuda on erev Pesach, he had to say Halacha Rabbi Yehuda be'erev Pesach. It's mashma that Rabbi Yossi disagrees with him. Otherwise, why would we need the Paskin? So the Gemara says, no, Halacha Mechlal de Pligi b'Hafsaka. The Gemara now widens out the discussion and says the Machlokes Rabbi Yossi and Rabbi Yehuda applied to whether it's mutter to start eating, and there was another parallel Machlokes about whether you have to stop eating if it comes time for Shabbos. Let's say you started eating, and now it's already Shabbos. Do you have to stop, or can you just continue going? We had a Machlokes between Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Yossi about that, and that's what this Psak Halacha was about. Now the Gemara introduces this second Machlokes. The Tanya, Mafsikin l'Shabbos, Step Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yossi Omer, Ein Mafsikin. Mafsikin l'Shabbos. Rabbi Yossi Omer, Ein Mafsikin. U'Maser, Rabbi Shimon Gamliel, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yossi. Shehi Mesubim Be'ako. Rabbi Shimon Gamliel was eating with the two protagonists here, Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Yossi. The Kiddush Aleim Hayom, and it became Yom Tov. They were eating Shabbos, whatever it was. Rabbi Shimon Gamliel, Rabbi Yossi, the Rebbe. He said, my great Rebbe. Rashbam says, Gadol Ador. Right? Interesting term. Rebbe. Should we be machmir like Rabbi Yehuda and be mafsik? Because we saw Rabbi Yehuda says you have to be mafsik. Rabbi Yehuda chavirenu. Amrlo. B'chol yom b'yom et ha'mechabev devarai lefanai. Lefnei Rabbi Yehuda. Nachshav et ha'mechabev Rabbi Yehuda lefanai. In general, you're my loyal Talmud. You're my loyal Talmud. And you're always mechabev my words in front of Rabbi Yehuda. Now you're being mechabev Rabbi Yehuda's words in front of me. Hagam lichvosh as amalkei mi b'bayis. Right? Megillah Esther. Amalei. So Shimon Gamliel said back to him, Imkei, if that's the way it should be. Lo nafsik, we're not going to stop. Shem and Yirah Tamim become a loch on the doors. Not only will we not stop naturally, we're going to go out of our way not to stop because we don't want people to get the wrong impression. Amru lo zazu bisham, achikavu halacha Rabbi Yossi. So you see that we're not always machmir for things, right? We want people to know what the halacha is. Right? Rabbi Yossi said, don't be machmir. Don't be machmir. Now, even though this is the story that happened to Shimon Gamliel, we saw Rabbi Yochanan says, we passed on like Rabbi Yehuda regarding Hafsaka on erev Pesach. We passed on like Rabbi Yossi, like here it might have been Shabbos and Yom Tov. Okay. Any questions that we've seen thus far regarding the machlokes between Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Yossi? Two machlokes. By Hafsaka and by Hafchala and the Chiddush of Rav Huna, based on our Mishnah, that Rabbi Yossi agrees that on erev Pesach you shouldn't be matching. Gemara now quotes Rabbi Yehuda Shmuel, who has a third sheet. Rabbi Yehuda Shmuel. Ein halacha lo Rabbi Yehuda v'lo Rabbi Yossi. El Paris Mapel Mekadesh. What you do if you're in the middle of eating, and it comes time for Shabbos and Yom Tov, you put a mappa on the table, make kiddush, and then you continue and start the new meal. Right? Maybe the putting of the mappa down and the kiddush redefines the meal. Right? It's like abracadabra. The magician puts a mappa on as you can't see. It's like to redefine it. Maybe we do that today too, even though we're not in the middle of the meal. We could put the mappa on the thing, we make the kiddush, and then we reveal the lechem as to the Shabbos. Aini, is it true? Amr of Tachlifa bar Avdini Amar Shmuel Yeshem Shemafsikin LeKiddush Kach Mafsikin LeHavdalah. And if a person was eating through that shishit, it went straight through your mafsik. So you see mafsik. My mafsikin. Lav Lakir Shulchan doesn't mafsikin mean that you remove the table? Like Rav Yehuda said, you have to be mafsik. Lo, the Gemara says lamapa. It means Rav Yehuda Shmuel said that you put a mappa down. Rabba bar Rav Huna Ikla the Reish Galusa. Who is using Yeshivat? So Aisu Takakameh. They brought out the food before the meal, before he made kiddush. Paras mappa v'kiddush. So this is like our situation, right? The food is already on the table, so we're paras mappa and mekadesh. It seems like he wasn't eating. Tanya we have a brisa which says this as well. Ein nevinas hashulchan before kiddush. Elam ken kiddush. In heavy paras mappa mekadesh, like we just said about Rabba bar Huna did by the Reish Galusa. Now the Gemara quotes a number of brises and explains the relationship between them based on what we were just talking about. Tani chada shavin shemaschilin. We have a brisa which says you shouldn't start eating. The Tanya idich shavin shemaschilin. So bishlam had the Tanya shavin shemaschilin. Mishkach la erev Pesach, like Rav Huna said that even Rav Yossi agrees you can't start eating when erev Pesach. And the other Tanya shavin shemaschilin, the brisa which says everyone agrees you're allowed to eat. Emas, when does that apply? Inim erev Shabbos hamiflik pligi. Rav Yehuda disagrees with that. Lo kasha kan kodim tisha gan liachar tisha, like we said before. After Tisha Samach Lemincha, you're not allowed to eat. But before Tisha, then everyone agrees that you're allowed to start. This completes the sugya, the first sugya here of Mafchilin and Mafsikin and etc. Any questions before we continue into the next sugya? The next sugya starts speaking about it. People make Kiddush in Shul. Does that work for people to be Yotze the Chovas Kiddush? Also, Rav says when you come home, you have to make Brei Pri Hagafen again because you're in a new makom. But you Yotze Kiddush in Shul. Kiddush in Shul is good. The Shmuel Amar Af Yidei Kiddush Lo Yotze. Shmuel disagrees and says just like you can't use the Brei Pri Hagafen from Shul for home, so to Kiddush you have to make another Kiddush. El Rav, Lama like Dusha Bebeis. The Gemara says, going to Rav that you Yotze Kiddush. Why do you make Kiddush again at home? So to be most of the people at home who weren't in Shul. According to Shmuel, that you're not Yotze Kiddush in Shul and nothing. So why do you make Kiddush in Shul? If you have guests who are staying over in Shul, guests from out of town used to stay in Shul, so they need Kiddush in Shul, so you make the Kiddush for them, but you're not Yotze. Because the Shmuel, the Tame, Shmuel's the Shitas, the Shmuel. Ein Kiddush el b'makom suda. This is the famous din, right? Ein Kiddush el b'makom suda. That's why you have to make Kiddush again at home. Savramine. People thought when he said this, hani mili b'ayis l'bayis. It's only if you move from home to home you have to make the Kiddush again. But if you move from floor to floor, place to place within your own home, maybe that's okay, and there isn't a problem of Ein Kiddush b'makom suda. No, not true. Because Amalahu Rav Anan Bar Tachlifa, Zibin Tzagi, and there were times. I was in front of Shmuel. He came down from the attic to the ground. To make Kiddush again, or to make Kiddush the first time. So you see, it has to be mamish there. After Rav Huna suffering Kiddush, the Rav Huna Kaddish, he made Kiddush, he had Akra Le Sharga, and the candle went out. And he took his things, his kalim, his food, to the chuppah house. They used to make a special chuppah of Rabbi, his son, where they have a sharga, where there was a candle, the Kaddish for time, and make Kiddush again and ate the time meeting. Alma kasaver and Kiddush namakum suda. Yafir Rabba saver. So Shmuel, Rav Huna, now we see Rabba too, but Yafir Rabba saver and Kiddush namakum suda. When I was in front of Rabba, when he was Mekadosh Amalan, he said to him, eat something here. Maybe when you're away home, the candle will go out where you're staying, and you won't make Kiddush where you need to eat. You won't be Yotze with the Kiddush of here. So he said, eat here right away. Who knows what's going to be later? So we see that Rabbi also held. The Gemara asks the Kasha. Is it true that Rabbi held any Kiddush Suda? Abai himself said, Kol Mili Damar. All things of Rabbi always did. He was always knowing like Rav. With the exception of 3 halachas where Rabbi did like Shmuel. What were the 3? Matir in the beg and the beggar, that you can take tzitzis off one beggar of tzitzis, put them on another. Madliki ner, very similar halacha. You can light ner Chanukah one from the other. Halacha Rav Shimon Begreira, and the halacha is like Rav Shimon about dragging something on Shabbos or Yom Tiv, and we're not afraid of davar she'ein miskavin. Famous machlokas Rav Shimon Yehuda. The Tanya Rav Shimon Omer Gora other mita kisi v'safsel b'Shabbos. U'belvad shelo yiskavin lasol charitz. You're allowed to drag something even if it'll be a charitz, as long as you're not miskavin for it. So we see that Rabbi generally held like Rav. So he should have held like Rav here that there's no problem of Kiddush Makom Suda. So the Gemara answers, Chomer de Rav Avi Ovid. Kekula de Rav Lo Avi Ovid. Rabbi was knowing like all the Chomer of Rav, not the Kulas of Rav. Interesting in light of what we saw in the Gemara in Daf Kuf. Chomer is Kulas, and generally we say it should be knowing only Chomer of people. But that's what Rabbi did. The Gemara now on the bottom of Kuf Aleph and Aleph quotes a third Shita. We saw Rav, who said, Yedei Yayin Lo Yotzu, Yedei Kiddush Yotzu. We saw Shmuel, who said, Yedei Yayin Lo Yotzu, and Yedei Kiddush Lo Yotzu. Now the Gemara quotes this third Shita of Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan Amar, Af Yedei Yayin, Nami Yotzu. Rabbi Yochanan is the most makel. He says like Rav that Kiddush is okay. And then he says the Yayin is also okay. There's no problem of Shinui Makom here. Wow. The other Rabbi Yochanan Latam, Rabbi Yochanan is the Shitas, Damar Rav Chanan Bar Abai, Amar Rav Plas Rabbi Yochanan. Echad Shinui Yayin, Echad Shinui Makom, Ein Tzarech Levarach. We're not worried about Shinui Yayin or Shinui Makom. The Gemara now begins a lengthy sugya that discusses Shinui Makom. This is what we'll begin tomorrow. We're going to do 2 daf a day. So we did 2 daf. And this is a good place to stop because it's a new sugya, even though it's connected to what came before. It's really a new piece because now we're discussing Shinui Makom for daf Kuf Aleph Amud Beis and Kuf Beis and Aleph. So again, if you learn these 2 dapim in the 20 minutes it took us to learn 2 dapim, and that's all you do, you'll forget very quickly. But if now you sit and you go back and you do Rashi, and you do Rashbam, and you do Tosfos, and maybe Ari will give us some occurrence to enhance what we're doing beyond, and you'll do it. So you'll be really learning well, and you'll finish Arvei Psachim and Yirtzeh Hashem in 10 days. Like 2 daf a day, 20 dapim, it'll be very nice. And then Yirtzeh Hashem after that, the Stomach will start the first pair. We start with Arvei Psachim because that's the basic safety stuff. And my recommendation to the guys is this. Number one, you should learn the Mishnayos in Masechet Psachim. Number two, you should learn the Rambam. Oh, we're learning Rambam. How nice. Number three, you should learn as much of the Gemara as possible. In no particular order. Number four, you should learn halachas of Pesach, chametz, matzah, seder. There's so much to learn. This year, you could maybe learn the things properly. And I understand there's Jordan, other people giving shiurim, but they're going to go through the halachas yourselves too. You have the green book. You know the magic green book? They still sell them in the Pinah, the Beit Midrash, of Arabi's books. Very comprehensive books on halachas of Yamim Tovim. They're green. Mikra Kodesh, Mikroi Kodesh, something along those lines they're called. Maybe they still have them in the Pinah. You can use them. You can learn online. But if you do this, your mom should be prepared for Pesach. And of course, beyond the formal learning, to prepare in Yonei Haggadah. To have meaningful things to say at the Seder. So today, in Mir Hashem at 3:45, I'm going to give an introductory shiur to the Haggadah, just to help people get the big picture of how the Haggadah works. I think that's good before you get into the trees. You see the forest, and people should obviously bring a Haggadah. So it goes without saying. To the Rambam shiur, we should bring a Rambam. To the Gemara shiur, we should bring a Gemara. To the Haggadah shiur, we should bring. Well said. Okay, I want you to have a great morning, Seder.
Guys, make sure your friends know if anyone doesn't have a